What's up everyone, I'm Ben.
And I'm Hurley.
And this is round 5 of the Seektag League Spring 2021, where 6 teams will be competing in the ultimate game of stealth to become...
I can't believe it's round 5.
The winners will be crowned.
It's level 5.
Yeah, it's going to be epic.
That's right, and we've got all this coming up.
In Seektag, you get points if you can spot another player's number without getting seen. The Seektag League is a sneaky tournament with teams of 1 or 2 attempting to score as many points as possible across 6 games.
Alright, so we're here today for round 5. We're finally here. The second time we're going to go back to Loop and see how it completely disassembles our players in front of our very eyes.
Totally terrifying. I mean, anything is possible in Loop.
Loop is wild.
It is. It's brutal.
I think there's nowhere to hide. So before we jump into that, let's take a quick look at where we stand after 4 games.
Nav is in the lead quite comfortably, which is amazing.
G-Ball launching up to 2nd, Dixie dropping to 3rd. I mean, that's the big kind of reversal.
Real disappointment for Dixie in that last game.
Yeah, and of course, Illy having a sensational last game. Both teams actually did very well in the last game, but it's not totally making up for their first 3 games yet, unfortunately.
No, they need to have an absolutely epic, stellar spot, all the spots to even come better than 6.
That might happen. Yeah, anything can happen.
It could. It's Loop. Anything could happen.
And of course, Flying Fish having an absolute disaster.
Absolute mare.
But I very much hope they've actually looked at the map of the arena this time.
That would actually really help.
And so hopefully they won't get lost. So to stop us getting lost, let's take a look at where we're going to play today.
At the centre of the arena, Origin is a double red postbox on a crossroads of high-level walkways. With 4 immediate routes in and out, and even more secondary routes, Origin is a spider of a checkpoint, with ample opportunity for short-range evasion and easy access to neighbouring checkpoints. A small gate at the north end of the forest, Impala feels deceptively concealed, but actually maintains line of sight across the forest and towards Beta to the west. The connecting low wall provides cover from the forest, and the nearby pillars allow for rapid escape. Basie is a metal gate in the ruins underneath the nest of high-level walkways to the south of Loop. Set amongst sprawling open gardens, Basie is a challenge to approach, with a perimeter of open ground encircling the ruins.
Okay, so we are about to kick off game 5, second game at Loop. I can't wait for this one.
It's so exciting. I mean, anything we saw last time, anything can happen.
What I love about Loop is that it shakes things up. So, speaking of shaking things up, what are the players going to try to pull out of today?
I mean, so we know that G-Ball has amazing vantage points and tactics. I think that a lot of people need to implement similar sort of gameplays.
Right, so G-Ball actually mentioned that he knows about certain little haunts and sneaky hideaways that he's using.
Constantly using his imagination.
Yeah, and I think Imi's actually picking up on some of what G-Ball's doing.
Which is very impressive.
So they may have some kind of advantage.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about Nav? Currently in first place.
Yeah, love it. Really, I mean, slow and steady, like I always say.
And so then Don't Know, who actually had a great first game at Loop.
Yeah.
And potentially they could be onto something here if they can replicate or build on that.
And if they implement the tactics that they were talking about, then yeah.
All right, I can't wait. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, it's happening. We're into game 5 in the Seektag League. Second time at Loop. 5th time overall. Players are actually
down. 6 seconds to go.
Waiting for the countdown. 3, 2.
This is a scary time.
Oh, that's not.
I love that sound. No,
So
they have not just bumped into each other immediately.
That was on second 0. Nav and Dixie have walked straight into each other.
Oh, damn.
Okay, well, they are neutralized. So Nav can't score off Dixie, Dixie can't score off Nav. That's it.
I suppose that's one less person to worry about, but that's 5 points, juicy points that you could have won.
Right. Although, actually, they're some of the highest scoring players so far. So actually, if they're going to bump into anyone, I mean, it would be difficult to score against Nav, for example.
Yeah, that is true.
So maybe not that much of an issue. Crazy timing, of course, as Dixie heads down to the ground level to work along there. We've got G-Ball moving along the very top of the arena, I think looking for a tag on Impala. Impala being at the top of the forest, at the top of Loop. That's definitely what G-Ball is thinking. If we know G-Ball, he'll definitely be going for a tag like that. Nav setting up in the middle of the arena, right near Origin.
And Dixie's taking what looks like the route to Basie.
Yeah, Dixie's definitely got eyes on Basie, I think, here. If they continue... Oh, okay, considering going back up to the upper level here. Maybe thinking better of actually going in at ground level. So yeah, Jeeble definitely working along towards Impala here. I mean, is this the secret? Are we going to see the secret tactics of Jeeble?
Yeah, this is great. This is great now. Taking notes. Give me a pen.
You got a pen? What do you got? So Jeeble's actually hyper aware. This is very squirrel-like kind of behavior.
It is. I love
really
it.
Hyper aware.
Oh, damn.
No. Okay.
Who's Jeeble? Who is that?
Just don't know.
Damn, don't.
So Jeeble couldn't have planned it. So Jeeble's run straight into Don't Know right by Impala. So Jeeble's got that tag in the bag there. It is added to the board.
Well, Don't Know able to tag it?
Yeah, no.
Or did they get scared away?
Don't Know will definitely have gone back and tagged Impala. They maybe just haven't actually logged the tag yet.
Okay, fine. We can worry about that later.
Yeah, as Jeeble counter spots them. So Jeeble really didn't see them coming. Who's he got here?
Ooh, that's
this is
a
Flying
good
Fish.
spot.
Good spot on Flying Fish there.
Completely unaware.
Totally unaware. Jeeble furiously running around, as actually Imi has grabbed a spot on Flying Fish as well. Again, Imi is in a similar place to Jeeble. Completely invisible for us at this point. Imi the Phantom this time.
And she takes the lead.
Imi's grabbed Sig as well, so Imi's actually spotted
good.
both Flying Fish. Yeah, there's the tag from Jeeble on Sig. As Jeeble actually tries to maintain eye contact into where Flying Fish are going. Because of course that tag is only going to be worth something if Jeeble doesn't then get seen by Flying Fish. You have to see somebody and not get seen yourself in order to score 5 points.
Yeah, and you have to, sometimes...
There is Marconius.
Casual.
I mean, this is about 10 meters away.
It's completely unaware. Is Marconius completely unaware?
I mean, you have to remember, they don't know Jeeble is there.
Yeah, that's...
So Marconius and Sig actually tagging Impala there have been drawn in
Jeeble's having a little seat.
as Jeeble takes a seat, as usual, very relaxed, taking a moment just to put those numbers in. Jeeble was logging the spot on Marconius there and trying to keep eyes on where they are.
It's interesting to see people's psychology. Like, sometimes I loop round and start following someone because I think they might think that I'm running away from them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, sometimes
like, there are
the
different
safest...
psychology tactics that you can pull out.
It's fascinating. Actually, Jeeble's just spotted Bonkers of Don't Know there, who is, as she said at the beginning of this league, crawling around on the floor is something she's prepared to do. There is the evidence, everybody. Literally crawling on the floor to stay away from Flying Fish. So at this point, we've got Bonkers and Jeeble on this side of the forest, actually all hiding from Flying Fish. Flying Fish apparently completely unaware that any of them are there, hiding behind these big planters. But that's how the game works. You've got to stay hidden in order to score those points.
I think that Flying Fish are probably just happy that they found the forest.
They found Impala. So Flying Fish very smitten with that as Jeeble heads down to ground
level. Now this is an interesting route, the one that I certainly have never taken.
I've actually never taken this route either. This is a very interesting play from Jeeble.
This is really off the beaten track here from Jeeble, and this is a rare privilege that we're getting to see this.
So getting this little bit of insight to see through Jeeble's eyes. Jeeble just checking in with the clock there. About 7 minutes left. Actually already approaching the halfway point here as Dixie approaches Basie. So Dixie just basically running in to Basie here.
That's all you can do, in and out, quickly, because there are so many. You see that walkway up there? There's so many walkways.
Look at this.
You are so exposed when you head into Basie.
And actually this barrier pretty much meaning you've got to go the long way round.
Yeah.
So yeah, just so many ways to see into Basie. Basie is a bit like a sort of trap. I mean, Dixie...
There could be someone waiting for you when you get in there. It's nothing about this is kind or nice. It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Honestly, so there's the tag. There's the tag from Dixie on Basie as Jeeble actually is not very far away, just on the other side of that garden-like area G-Ball is making his way at ground level towards Basie. So Dixie looks like they might be out of there just in time. Crossing the road there on the other side of Basie.
Yeah, you've got to get out of there quick.
Dixie's running back to cover after taking that very bold move down into the basin of Dixie there. Of Basie there. So I'm getting all of my E's mixed up. Actually, G-Ball has just picked up Dixie, has caught a glimpse. I don't think G-Ball quite knows who that was.
Dixie is far enough away for this not to be a problem, though, as far as I'm aware.
Absolutely, but
they
now
can definitely escape.
Indeed, but now Dixie actually heading up to the higher level, and I don't know if G-Ball might be presuming that Dixie's going to stay on ground level. So this could throw G-Ball if he's not careful. Dixie's got a fantastic view into Basie there. G-Ball's definitely wanting to go for Basie. There it is, just ahead. But Dixie has got this sentry position that would be...
I feel like something's going to happen? This is tense.
I mean, what we're doing here is we're walking into a situation that Dixie has crafted. You know, Dixie is literally overlooking this checkpoint, and actually G-Ball's going to go for it.
This is a good Basie stakeout. This is what we were talking about.
Right. So the only thing that Dixie's improving on here is that Dixie has actually managed to get it before G-Ball. And actually, there's the spot. Dixie handily grabbing G-Ball's number there.
Well executed.
All right, let's take another quick look at that. So here's Dixie's view on that situation. This is a replay, and we can see G-Ball coming out here. Hooning his way across the gardens there, down into Basie, and that's a really good view. Dixie being very careful not to just stand in plain sight here.
Really good.
G-Ball having no idea. So let's take a look at G-Ball's point of view at that exact moment. So I wonder if G-Ball can see Dixie at all. Aha, okay, so there is a glimpse. Potentially it was possible, but actually there's so much for G-Ball to be thinking about here.
I think he's just focused so much on Basie that he won't just...
Whereabouts?
Quite right. Now, who's G-Ball talking to here? Is this...
No. Someone from the general public did not just...
Okay. So, there is G-Ball. So, he's had a tip-off about Dixie's location. So, G-Ball doesn't appear to know exactly where. As Nav is actually now strolling into the area, would you believe, into the middle of this, between the two of them.
What's it? Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm struggling to keep up here.
So let's recap. so Dixie's got this perfect position in as Nav walks in. Dixie's probably going to pick up Nav here, but they've already bumped into each other. So this is of not much consequence to either.
Okay, right.
There indeed.
There he
Nav.
is.
So Dixie's got eyes on Nav there, but it doesn't make too much of a difference to either of them. Now, G-Ball has had a tip-off from someone sitting nearby that he's being watched.
This happened in a couple of games before where we were talking about interactions from the public, and it's like, is this really?
Is this all right?
Like...
And Dixie there saying, he's coming for me. G-Ball is now working his way quickly towards Dixie, and Dixie's going to have a decision to make here. G-Ball is hunting Dixie down at this point.
He needs that counter spot.
G-Ball has locked onto Dixie. Now, the thinking here, look at the speed that G-Ball's moving at as Dixie runs scared down the stairs. Look at that speed top left from G-Ball. So
oh my God.
Dixie is just out of view on the landing below.
No. Oh God, this is so... Dixie is now... Dixie's at the bottom of those stairs?
Right down there where G-Ball is looking. So if you're watching the top two screens here, G-Ball is trying to figure out where Dixie has gone. Now, this isn't an offensive manoeuvre. This isn't to score from Dixie, but it's to prevent Dixie from scoring against G-Ball.
In cold blood. Like, this isn't even a...
Now, you see that on the left there. Dixie is right behind.
I need to hold my breath.
Dixie is right behind the other side of this block. They are about 2 meters apart, and Dixie is standing stock still, waiting to see what G-Ball does. No doubt Dixie can hear G-Ball at this point. What are we about to watch here? As G-Ball runs right in front of Dixie.
Oh my God, Dixie!
And Dixie is going to make a move. The boldest move I've ever seen. G-Ball has seen them at the last possible moment. I don't know what. Let's take another quick look at that. Wow. Okay, so G-Ball is meters from Dixie.
What if Dixie had just stayed there, though?
Look at this. Look
what
at
if
that.
Dixie had just stayed there? I wonder would G-Ball have turned around? Like,
Dixie,
what
I
was
think
Dixie?
is-
What was Dixie thinking?
There's the moment where G-Ball realised. I think Dixie was planning to get in behind that wall, thinking that G-Ball was going to go off ahead.
Mate, that is
outrageous.
Headphones off. How long have we got left?
That is
I can't
outrageous.
even deal with this.
We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this game.
No.
Turn around and see which way were you? Just under the stairs, that way.
I can't believe that.
Okay, so G-Ball actually thought that Dixie had gone around the corner towards the road. And that is just absolutely unbelievable. So G-Ball is going to head off.
This is unbelievable. It's...
Oh, as Nav actually gets spotted by Imi. Nav definitely had his eye on the binocular at that point, looking right down towards Origin. And
Tunnel vision.
Imi the Phantom has managed to sneak a spot on Nav. While he's completely distracted, looking right down that long sight line to Origin.
Just look at the teams though here again. Like, again, not doing very well. Nothing's really happening. Like, I mean,
Teams are really
we've been
struggling.
focusing a lot on Dixie.
Team's just really struggling to make Loop work.
How they've
aren't they?
not been able to do anything. But, you know, Imi's still holding her own. It's really great. She was actually at the top a while ago, but she got counter-spotted a couple of times, which was brutal.
And actually, Nav sitting in second, 30 seconds left. I think all players are now looking to... Oh, what is G-Ball saying? G-Ball is actually thinking about going for Origin. He's currently about 40
This
meters
is
out.
bold. I mean, you could get spotted so many times.
I mean, 15 seconds though. G-Ball's got to cover this ground after doing quite a lot of running this game. Here's Origin coming up with 7 seconds. This is going to be extremely tight as he runs right into Don't Know, who are camping out at Origin.
But were they able to tag him before?
And we're into closing. So
oh my god.
I feel like they might have bumped into each other already at this point.
Okay, all right.
Even if they hadn't, I'm not sure that would have been enough time. So Dixie on the move here. The closing checkpoint today is Origin, so all players have to get back to that closing checkpoint before the time runs out if they're going to keep any of the points they've scored. Dixie is going to have to do some work here to make it back. Sounds like G-Ball is not sure that that tag on Origin went through, but indeed it did.
How can you concentrate on anything else after that Dixie and G-Ball interaction?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I know, right? I mean, we're going to have to talk about
That's
that.
just crazy.
So as the players are, Nav's walking into Origin here, Dixie's actually looking like they're going to make it back as well. But wow. I mean...
Oh my god.
Okay, I mean, let's...
I just can't even begin. That was just too tense and too close. And I just feel like Dixie, I don't know, there was just a moment there where Dixie could have got away with it.
That was absolutely amazing. What an incredible moment of gameplay. And Dixie, I mean, it must have been close. The thing is, so Dixie's plan looked to be to move in behind that wall in the expectation that G-Ball was going to move away in the direction he was looking.
Yeah.
Now, if G-Ball had done that, I think Dixie would have got away with that amazingly, would have spotted G-Ball at Basie and survived the hunt and still got away with it. All it was is that G-Ball had this sneaking suspicion that Dixie had gone back towards the road.
Yeah.
And as a result, he walked straight into Dixie. So what could Dixie have done? Look, maybe if they could have been totally silent, maybe they could have crept around back up towards the stairs. But there was maybe 5 seconds there.
Yeah. I mean, G-Ball had decided to turn around. It was just too tense.
That was amazing. I mean,
it would have really set them in good stead. Dixie really needed those points. I really wanted Dixie to score.
Right, and I just love that G-Ball set his sights on Dixie. Got a tip-off from a member of the public that he was being watched when he went to Basie.
And ruthlessly hunted them.
A hunt. Just absolutely went for Dixie. Tried to do it quickly too, and it was only Dixie scrambling out of there and down the stairs just in time that got them away.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Absolutely amazing. What an amazing moment.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go and hear about that from the players themselves as we go down into the arena.
Oh, yes! I didn't think I was going to do that well.
Did you know I was up on that?
Oh, my God, Origin, yes! Excellente. Saw team don't know at the very beginning. And then we both had like this little cat and mouse with flying fish because we both knew where they were and they both knew where we were. But I don't think they got me, which is good. So I got the points from that.
So you won?
Yeah.
By...
A lot more running around.
Yeah. Even more.
That game didn't feel as good as the last one, but I think that last checkpoint is what. Well, I got all the checkpoints this time instead of just catching people.
It went a bit better this time. Yeah, generally just sort of didn't move around too much. Tried to spot people from afar. Almost got away with spotting Greg, but sort of snuck around and caught me. But I managed to get Sig within like the last 10 seconds of the game, which got me like just like a nice little 5 points at the end.
So it started off really well. Got 20 points. Had seen both of the teams, basically Flying Fish and Don't Know.
Yeah.
They went to Grun and I was like further up, just like hiding. My scope. But then when they came out, I was kind of happy with my 10 points at that point. I was like, okay, I could just stay here. But then I wanted to get some checkpoints, so I came out and then everyone else spotted me and they just all had my number.
And you lost everything at that point?
Basically lost everything until I saw Adam. And then managed to get his points and managed to get 1 checkpoint, so kind of redeemed it.
So the really unfortunate encounter just there, where James and I bumped into each other, like in the beginning, very first second of the game.
Yeah.
Like the game started and we walked around the corner and went,
Yeah.
And then everyone seemed to get log jammed over that far side for a very long time, so I had very little to do. Eventually just spotted one person. They're basically sacrificing a player on their team to get spotted and tag a checkpoint.
Flying Fish.
Hello.
Tell me that went better than your last game.
Better, yes. Very, very slightly better.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I spotted some people and I was able to pass the information on to him, but they had already spotted him, so it kind of just...
Oh, it's okay, but still, the concept worked. We actually split up. We were on opposite ends of the arena and we still managed to pass the information to each other efficiently. That was nice.
We saw a lot of people, but they'd already seen us. So,
and then we got stalked by Sig for quite a long time.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game though.
Okay, so how do you feel about going into the mystery arena?
Yeah, should be good. I'm looking forward to it.
No one's afraid of this thing at all.
I mean, you're talking to the least comfortable person in this game. She's not concerned about how we do as long as she's having fun.
Exactly, that's the main thing, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm having great fun, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, very good. Yeah.
That was a cat and mouse, if ever I saw one.
Wow.
Between G-Ball and Dixie. That was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of easy for that to totally dominate, but I mean, let's also, hearing from Imi there was interesting.
Yeah.
Imi's getting really quite good, and considering, so she's the absolute newcomer.
Definite dark horse.
Still managed to pull 3rd place. Joint 2nd place, we've got Nav and Dixie there, scoring 11 each, both with 1 spot, which is relatively low for both of them.
I mean, how do you think this is going to go? The way that G-Ball's going at the moment, is he just going to swoop in at the last second and take the whole thing?
It's a real possibility at this point. So that's the results from game 5. So let's look at what it's done for totals, in fact. G-Ball has grabbed a 3-point lead over everybody.
So average middle of the pack for the first 3 games, and now the last 2 has just skyrocketed.
G-Ball really works well in Loop. Loop is so tactical, and if you know your haunts and you know where you like to work from, this is what Nav is doing well in Loop as well.
Yeah.
Nav is the kind of person that figures out the logic of an area and identifies, okay, that's the spot that is going to give me this advantage. I'm going to work that spot. Nav does this again and again. The difference between Nav and G-Ball is actually not very much in terms of that they're both doing that, but it's also huge in how they do that.
Yeah.
G-Ball is like the fastest paced player you can possibly imagine. It pretty much covers the entire map every single game.
Sure.
Nav is a sentry style. Nav basically picks a stronghold and holds it.
Yeah. I mean, they're very similar in points, spots, everything.
Yeah, it just goes to show that there is more than one way to play this game and to win.
Yeah.
There is not one winning method here.
No, and you shouldn't be in a team. Which is not what I thought at all at the beginning of this league.
Now, I semi-agree with you there, but also I'm thinking that maybe the teams haven't figured out how to make this work for them yet. You know, they're changing their tactics every game at the moment. I feel like they're basically trying things and they're trying to figure out what works. And sometimes they've had great successes.
Sure.
But most of the time, I would fully agree with you. You are not wrong. So, from this point, Game 6, Mystery Arena. Which we know is going to be Maya.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the idea of Maya just makes me quiver and shake in my boots.
Right, so Maya is basically like Loop, but take away all of those avenues and long sight lines and turn it into just open plains. You know, with Maya, it's not obvious which way you should go to get to somewhere at all. You pretty much have to, you know, strike your own path across the place.
Is it going to favour Dixie? Dixie really needs to pull one out of the bag.
Having been so steadfast in first.
Yeah, and consistent, you know?
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah. Maybe Dixie just really likes Kingdom.
What, are you saying that Dixie is a one-trick pony?
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far, but based on the results, I mean...
Yeah, fair enough.
Dixie did so very well in Kingdom. Imi could steal the whole thing if it goes really well, which would be absolutely amazing.
I would love that.
As for the teams, I think we've got a sort of second battle going on about which team is going to come out on top.
Yeah. Which tactics? No tactics or scrambling for tactics?
Yeah.
You know?
And they have to completely recalibrate their brains for a brand new arena this time, which is going to make it all the more insane.
I can't even,
Yeah. Bring it on.
Bring it on. I can't wait.
We are here. It is finally time next week for the final Game 6 at Maya of the Seektag League.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that we've made it.
We've made it.
We survived.
We actually made it, and it's going to be intense.
It's going to be crazy. I'm excited.
So if you want to check that out or see any of our other league content, head to YouTube and search for Seektag.
And if you want to play yourself, go to seektag.com, where you can watch all the videos on why to do it, where to do it, how to do it.
And of course the app.
And the app is free. No money.
That's what free means.
Just use it.
And if you want, you can come along to join us on our free gameplay meetup days in London. So
yeah, come and run around with us.
That is it until the final next week.
Oh my God, I'm going to wear a suit.
I can't wait. Yeah, wear a suit.
I'm so excited.
You can be the smart one.
Yeah, I will be.
You're always the smart one. So thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Goodbye.
Stay sneaky.